Hey everybody, Norm over here, and I've got a very special guest doing the Guitar of the Day for us today. And my friend bought this guitar, and I didn't want it to leave the store before we did a Guitar of the Day with it because I've never seen anything like it, and I'm sure you've never seen anything like it. So this is my buddy Grant Geissman, one of the greatest guitar players I know. Played with Chuck Mangione, played with so many people, does all kinds of great jazz records, really great jazz records, and he wrote the theme song to 2.5 Men.
Yes, I did.
So I don't feel bad for Grant. I mean, I give him good prices, but I don't feel terrible for him because I think he's doing okay. That worked out pretty good.
It worked out great. Knock on wood. Hang on here.
There you go. So let's show him what this is here. So this is a 1963 or 4
Yeah.
Epiphone Howard Roberts. So I want you to see this guitar. It's in remarkable shape. This has been in my warehouse for 25, 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And I was at a guitar show, and I kind of walked by this guitar a few times, and I just said, it's a really clean Epiphone Howard Roberts. And I said, somebody must have taken the pickup off. But on further examination, there are no holes. This guitar has never had a pickup. This was a custom order, probably a one-of-a-kind, and it's a really cool sounding guitar. Grant, tell us a little bit about what you think about how the neck feels and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, it feels great, first of all. The thing that's cool is, you know, I knew Howard a little bit, and I've always loved these guitars with the round sound hole, but usually they have a little mini humbucker kind of floating,
right, like a Johnny Smith
floating pickup mounted there. But like Norm says, this is a one-of-a-kind, and it's great because it plays like an arch top. It's got that full sound.
It's about the size of a 175.
Yeah.
But it's got the rosewood fingerboard like a 175 would have, but it's got the Epiphone inlays. The first Howard Roberts guitars were Epiphones. They weren't Gibson. Then Gibson did a Howard Roberts guitar and kind of a reissue of this, and they made a Howard Roberts custom that had a Tree of Life on the headstock. And so when the Gibson did them, they did them with the Tree of Life. But this was the Howard Roberts standard, but just a really cool guitar. And I've never seen one just dry like this. So
Let's see the back.
yeah, so it's
in
beautiful
beautiful
shape.
condition.
Oh, wow.
Pretty amazing for as old as it is.
Yeah.
And so
You had this in the warehouse?
it's been in there for 25 to 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's been kept away, and Grant is the beneficiary. So he's buying it. So I know if you guys want to buy it, I'm sorry. He's the new proud owner of it. But it's something that I wanted to show you because I've never seen another one without a pickup. And I thought that you should see it too. And Grant, you're going to get to see it a lot.
Yes, I am.
And we're going to take it outside. Grant's going to give you a little demo on it because Grant knows what to do with a git fiddle.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's go check it out. I'm out front with my buddy Grant. Grant played one of the most impressive solos, and I think a lot of people have called it one of the better solos of all time, on the Chuck Mangione tune, Feel So Good, right?
Yep, that's the one.
And really, really cool tune, and your solo was pretty amazing on that. And he's got a lot of really cool jazz records that you did, and you played with, name some of the other people.
My mind always goes blank, but I mean, Keiko Matsui, David Benoit, Mark Winkler, Lorraine Feather, I don't know. It's all a blur at this point.
It's all a blur. Well, speaking of blur, can you play a little bit on this Howard Roberts and just show us what it does?
Well, the reason I love this is because it has no pickup, so a lot of times I'm called upon to do kind of like Freddie Green sort of stuff, and this is perfect for that because you know, it sounds great acoustically. I love this. It's,
with the arch top oval hole, produces a little different tone than like with the F hole.
yeah, very unusual, this thing.
So it's quite kind of like the L4C was the F hole version of this guitar in a way. Same size, but with F holes and dry.
The interesting thing is a lot of people, especially younger people, don't even know who Howard Roberts is or was.
Yeah.
And Howard was one of the most brilliant jazz guitar players of the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And he did tons of studio work, a lot of stuff with kind of Wrecking Crew type stuff.
Sure.
A lot of session work, but he was an amazing jazz guitar player, and he turned a lot of people on to jazz because he had this whole series of records on Columbia, you know, HR is a dirty guitar player, and all these
Right,
really
I
soulful records where he just played beautifully. So, I mean,
So play a little single note stuff too, you know, just so they can
Yeah.
hear some of this.
I remember on one of his albums, he had this unbelievable. He did this cadenza at the end of one of the tunes, and it was something like. It was like this amazing diminished scale thing, super clean. Howard was so great,
He was great.
but I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff.
Very cool. And you know, everybody knows Grant is kind of a jazz guitar player. You're playing with Steve Tyrell, who's fantastic.
Great
also.
singer, yeah.
Great singer and beautiful arrangements. But you started out, you loved the Beatles, right?
I love the Beatles, yeah. I mean, I started out in the garage like everybody else playing. All that kind of stuff.
But what are the, play us a couple Beatles and just some.
Well, let's see now. I don't know. What
Cool.
else?
Yeah.
How about? I love this.
I'm in love with her and I feel fine. Yep. So you have chords and voicings in the
Amazing.
Beatle tunes. If you learn to play Beatle tunes, you pretty much have it made, right? If you could learn every Beatle tune and play it the way
Well,
they
you'd
play.
you'd know every chord you would ever need to know in pop music if you knew enough Beatle tunes.
Their stuff
And they
was
did really
very
cool
brilliant.
songwriting. Like I love this song.
Yeah.
What is it called? Yeah, but it goes from major to minor. So
Yeah. They did that in a lot of tunes, major and minor. Changed the whole feel of the mood of the tune.
major,
Yeah.
back to minor. Major. So
Great.
great. Anyway, that's this guitar.
So that's how it evolved. Here's the guy, you know, starts out playing Beatle tunes, Van Morrison, you know, all that
of
kind
that.
of stuff. It's all music and it's all good music.
I love it all. That's the thing. I'm one of those guys. I just love it all. So
So you're not
can't
like
go wrong with that, right?
You're not a jazz snob where you kind of go, oh,
No,
those
yeah.
rock guys.
I'm not the jazz police by any stretch.
Because we do get some of the jazz police that come through.
Well, I mean,
here,
there's
you know.
there's guys that totally shred me on jazz guitar, but I like to do a little of everything.
But you learned that if you play jazz, you got 4 people out there going, and most
Which
of the
I don't
time,
mind either. Which that's okay.
Right, but most of the time they look at each other like, that was pretty good, wasn't it? And because they're not really sure, they don't know if it's good or bad because it's dissonant and stuff, and you know they have to get some kind of affirmation that it's good. The rock guys, you know, guy plays 3 chords, Gloria, and the place is going nuts.
That's humorous too, by the way.
So don't learn too much.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I always thought I'd be a millionaire many times over if I stopped learning in 8th grade.
That would have been it. Well, the great
Anyway,
Grant Geissman.
Thank you,
It's
Norm.
always a
We
pleasure.
love you, Norm. I love the shop.
I love Grant.
everybody here.
And,
yeah.
you know, try to bring you some of the best of the best. I didn't want this guitar to escape without you seeing it because it really is something special. And I'm glad it's going to the right home.
Thank you, Norm.
Grant Geissman.
Cheers.
Thanks, Grant. That was amazing.
Terrific. I usually do this, but we got to back up. And, you know, Grant played this other thing that And Your Bird Can Sing.
We're
One of
back.
the
We're
really,
back.
We're
really,
back.
really cool Beatle tunes. But you said you learned it.
Well,
you thought it was...
I'm one of those guys that didn't, when I was a kid listening to the Beatles, I didn't understand that it was 2 players each playing a separate harmony part on And Your Bird Can Sing. So I tried to figure it out just on one guitar, and this is how I did it. Sorry. And then
Very cool. Well, I had to get that just as an add-on because that was so cool. Any of you guys who may not think it's that easy, that difficult to play, try it. Let's see how.
especially when you haven't played it in a long time. But anyway,
Well,
can't go
get
wrong
it.
with the Beatles. Love
there's
the Beatles.
no editing here at Norm's Rare Guitars. We just kind of let it fly, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
beautiful,
everybody.
buddy.
That was great.